Now this young man that is next to this old man gets upset, gets jealous. He starts thinking, why he got this goose? What about me? Now he's going to sit and enjoy. What about me? I'm going to look at him. If we're going to sleep now here, he's going to probably get up in the middle of the night. He's going to start eat all these things. The next day, nothing is going to be left for me. What's going to happen? He sits all night long and thinks what to do, how to take care of this goose, how to eat it, so he cannot sleep. Hours and hours he tries to make sure that this old guy, he wants to make sure that he is asleep. When he thinks that he snores or he sleeps, he gets up, he sneaks from his bed, and goes to the old man's sack to look for this goose. He wants to eat from that, but he doesn't find it. Yeah. He looks all around, he looks and where could he have hidden it? He tries to behind the bushes, he tries to look behind his bed, he tries to, maybe he sits on it. The whole night he keeps thinking, where did he put this? Why did he do this? Why don't I get it? How can I get it? And all this and all this. The whole night he didn't sleep because of that. Morning he gets up and he's all upset. The whole night he didn't sleep. He's upset, he's angry. As he gets up, he looks at the man and says, when did you eat this goose? He's like, well, what do you want? What's your problem? The whole night I knew you're going to eat it. You're not going to leave me anything. You're this, you're that, you. And he tells him, why? You thought that I ate the goose? You thought that, I'll take it from you? Where exactly you hid it? He tells him. He said, you thought it's going to be in my bag? I put it in your bag. He didn't look over there. So what happens to people who are not happy with what they have? You feel pity of them, when we speak about strange people and we give these examples, we feel pity of them. But sometimes it happens to us. We do the same thing. We don't pay attention. No. And it's funny. From the outside it's funny, but it's so sad when such a thing happens. There's this famous story of this man that he lived in Warsaw in Poland. And one morning he gets up and he dreamt at night that he has a big fortune waiting for him, hidden under a stove in a place in Prague. You know this story?
Yeah.
So he tells his wife, I have to go to Prague, I have to get the money, I have to find a way. For, a whole month he has to travel until he gets over there. And as he gets there, it's not under a stone, it's under a bridge somewhere. He has to get there. There's soldiers waiting there. How can he approach this place? What people will tell him? He comes to him, at the middle of the night, he tries to get there, and the soldier is like, who's there? He's like, it's me. And he's like, what are you doing here? What did he tell him? So he told him the truth. I came to look for fortune that I once dreamed that I'll see over here. He says, are you crazy? That's what you came for? He says, so what? I also dreamed a dream. I dreamt that in the house of Isaac, the son of Yaakov, in Warsaw, under his oven, there's some treasure. So I'm going to go and look for it. Wait, are you crazy? Go home. He says, yes, it's Isaac, he's the son of Yaakov. Instead of going all the way to Prague, he had to go and look in his own oven where is the treasure hidden, right? Many times we are looking for treasures, we're looking for fortunes. Yeah, and the idea is to be happy with what we have. The idea is not to look, because the happiness is within us, how we look at things. If we're not happy with what we have, well, how much we're going to look for it, we're not going to find it, right? Another thing that I wanted to mention you is something interesting. About 400 or 500 years ago, lived Hari Kadosh. You probably heard of him. Hari Kadosh was a very important man. He dealt a lot with Kabbalah, and it's a freaky story. It's a true story. It's something that happened again around 400, 500 years ago in Israel. So there were two friends. From young age, They liked each other very much. They studied together. They grew up together. They were best friends. One, his name was Yosef Chavilio, two names. The other name was Shlomo Al-Bukhari. Grew up together, got married together at the same time, started a business together. After many years of partnership, something went between them. Didn't get along. Their wives, there was some problem. Yosef's wife was not able to have children. And Shlomo's wife kept having children every year. And after a while it bothered the woman that didn't have children. People get jealous, it's natural. So she keeps telling to her husband, he's not a good man. You don't have to make a business with him. There's such this, that, this and that. Constantly keep talking bad about them. There was no really reason, but when somebody don't have children, I guess for a while, it becomes hard.
It's natural.
So they broke the partnership, didn't work together anymore. And they both opened a business. They both had the same kind of a business. They had a factory for materials, and they competed with each other. So after a while, after they separated, Yosef became very rich. He had a lot of money. He succeeded very much. He became very, very wealthy. And Shlomo lost all his money and went down and down and down and down and didn't have anything. Not only this, Yosef comes to Arei HaKadosh and keeps complaining, Rabbi, I have everything, I have so much wealth, but who's going to inherit me? I don't have children, what should I do? And Arei, in the beginning, ignored him, year after year, ignored him. 10 years he's married, ignored him. 20 years he's married, ignored him. After 26 years, Arei HaKadosh blessed him, and he had a son. Everybody was happy. It was in Tzfat. Everybody was so happy. The first boy, after so many years of marriage, and he's a wealthy man, they prepared a whole big feast so that everybody will come to the Brit Milah and they will be able to eat. So today we have caterings, but years ago, right? So they had to make a whole big pot for, let's say, the fish, a whole big pot for the rice, a whole big. Where are you going to put all these things? The kitchen is filled up. The outside, everything. They're making food, preparing to give all these people when Bezat is going to do the Brit. And the day of the Brit, nobody paid attention because they were so busy with the guests, with the people, with this. Somebody comes in, sneaks into the kitchen, does something over there, and runs away. So people are waiting now for the Arei HaKadosh to make the Brit Milah. Brit we can do only during the day. We cannot do it nighttime. They wait the whole day. The rabbi is not coming. There's no phone call. You cannot. There's no cell phone. So you cannot call the rabbi. Where are you? You cannot text him. Waiting. He's not coming. So it's almost becomes dark almost. This is when the rabbi comes, and quickly they make the Brit Milah. So then after they sit in the Suda, the Arei HaKadosh tells them why he was late. He tells them, in the way of the Brit, a dog comes after me and he barks and he barks and he's waiting. He wants me to talk to him, to do something. So I turn to the dog, and in this dog there was a neshama of, it's a kind of former inclination of Gehazi. Gehazi, we just mentioned, was the student of Elisha, right, that had the leprosy. He wants me to fix his neshama. Arei HaKadosh was known, he was fixing neshamot. So Arei is asking him, why you were punished and became a dog? So he tells him something like that. In the time of Elisha, there was this woman that Elisha blessed her that she's going to have a child. And then after she gave birth to a child, when he grew up a little bit, this child died. And she came and she asked Elisha to come and help, to revive him. And Elisha sends Gehazi with a special stick to take care of this boy. Gehazi wasn't so sure about what exactly is this stick. So on the way to this woman, he saw a dead body of a dog. He put the stick on the dog, and the dog became alive. So he said, "Oh, it's working." He didn't believe, 100% sure if it's going to work out or not. When he came to the woman's house, it wasn't working anymore on this baby. So he had to wait, and the king and the prophet had to come himself and to do it. So the Gehazi says, because I used all this power of the stick that the prophet gave me on this dog, I came in a Gilgul as a dog. No, please take care of me because I'm really suffering. I want you to pray for me and take care of me. So Ha'ari Kadosh, he gave him a tikkun. He says, you're going to take, but your tikkun is, you were make fun of this. Your tikkun will be, if you're going to give your life, you're going to self-sacrifice, Mesirut Nefesh, you're going to self-sacrifice for Jewish people, this is going to be your tikkun. He says, fine, I'll do it. So, as we said before, in the house of the Brit Milah, people were working in the kitchen, right, doing the fish, and the fish was boiling, it was just done, and then doing the rice, and doing the, all the other chicken and all the other food that they were doing. All of a sudden, from the streets come a huge dog, runs, and jumps into the pot of the fish. It's a boiling pot. What kind of a dog jumps into a boiling? If anything, dog will run away. You're forcing he will not get close to something hot, right? How come dog came to there? So people are saying, what we're going to do? All our fish is all ruined. What we're going to do? They start crying. And Ha'ari Kadosh tells them, don't worry. Bring me another dog from the street. They bring another dog. And he takes a piece of fish and he gives it to the dog. The dog eats it and he dies on the spot. He tells them, unfortunately, Yosef, that you became so wealthy and after so many years you had a baby boy, but your friend Shlomo was jealous at you. And he came before, and because he was so jealous, he put poison in that food, and here's the proof that this dog died from this poison. This dog saved, self-sacrificed, so that you're not going to die from eating this food. So this is when this dog was able to come to its this is when Gehazi, Neshama of Gehazi came to was able to be fixed, and he went back to heaven.
So this neshama was fixed?
This neshama was fixed.
He sacrificed himself.
The dog.
Yeah.
The dog
This
saved people.
Gehazi that was not able to see when somebody else succeeds, now he made, he fixed it. Like he sacrificed himself so that other people will not die. These days that we counting the Omer are these days that we mourn for the 24,000 students of Rabbi Akiva. They died during these days. They died because of not respecting each other 100%, in their level, what they have to do. And the 5 students that he rebuilt all the Torah afterwards, he told them, you make sure that you won't do the same like all my other students did. You make sure that you do care about others, that you do respect them, that you do care for them, so that we won't come to that same thing again and again and again. I want to read you something interesting. My name is Slender. I have no respect to justice. I maim or murder without killing. I break hearts and destroy lives. I'm sly and evil, and I gather power as time goes on. Like a hurricane gets power as the more people quote me, the more they believe in me. My victims are helpless, and they have no way to defend themselves from me. I have no image and no face, and it's impossible to follow my tracks. Because I became elusive, the closer you become to me, the closer you do. When I tarnish someone's reputation, when I ruin somebody's reputation, he will never return to be the same. I break governments and ruin marriages. I cut off careers in their peaks. I cause sleepless nights, heartaches, and digestion problems. I make innocent people wet their pillow. That is, my name is slander. I make headlines and headaches. So before you report a story that you have heard, ask yourself, is it true? Is it not damaging? Is it necessary? If the answer is no, don't repeat the story. Break the chain. Don't be the one who breaks, who breathes life in the evil's slander. You have any questions?
Thank you. Bezig person.
You have any questions? No?
I just have a story that I
Okay.
read before. I probably know it. Again, I don't know the names. It's just one person, Jewish person, asked his servant to go to the market and get something very valuable, and he got him a tongue. And then he sent him again and said, bring me something that's not worth any, and he bring it tongue. It's like, why? He said, whatever you say, if you say something good, you lift up the spirit of a person. But if one word, if you say something bad, that's it, you just kill everything. So it can be very valuable, and at the same time it's...
When my kids were small, I brought them once a book from the library. And the book tells there about a lady that, years ago we used to make pillows ourselves. What do you put into pillows? Feathers, right? So she made feathers. It took her time to do this until she made this pillow. And then somebody comes and opens these feathers, and all these feathers go all over the world. Now try to collect it.
Yes.
You won't be able to collect it, right? Because it's all over. When people speak Lashon Hara, okay, you say A said it to B, B said to C, C said it to D, but you don't know exactly what else. Today there's the internet.
100%.
I heard about this 15-year-old girl that they posted her pictures online, and she was so embarrassed of the way that she was online that she got committed suicide.
Yeah, she committed suicide.
She was so embarrassed. This is called bloodshed. What is bloodshed? When all her blood gets out and she becomes white. Not only this, when she start thinking, how many people saw her in this situation? What people are going to say about her? They ruin her name. They ruin her. Okay, so maybe she wasn't religious, maybe she wasn't Jewish. I don't know. Think about Jewish people that somebody speaks about them. Oh, I heard that she's not eating kosher. Oh, I heard that she's doing this and this and that. She won't be able to get married right away because people talk, and you have to be careful from this family, you have to be careful from these people, you have to that. And it's so dangerous. So we didn't really speak about laws of Lashon Hara. This was Hashem I want to do in Parashat Ba'alatcha when over there it speaks about Miriam and Nevi'ah, that we don't understand exactly what wrong she said about her brother, about Tzipora, and still, yeah, she meant good, right, and still she got this punishment that she had this tzara. But here we spoke basically more about envy, how people are feeling not happy about when other people they're happy. This is something this is something that's not good also. So, Bezat Hashem. Thank you, Larissa, for opening the house.
Yeah, quick one. When a person gets leprosy, there was, let's say, they were in a desert, so they were out of the camp.
Right.
Okay, now they came to Israel. and they have Beit Hamikdash.
Right.
So they were out of the city.
It's a nice question. Leprosy
place,
was something that some say that was something that's very contagious. That they would come a few times to the Kohen, and the Kohen would check if it's okay. They just have to be isolated.
Okay.
And there's all kind of levels of leprosy, all kind of levels. So it depends how severe it was. But what's interesting is that after somebody, what is the tikkun? How they fix it? What sacrifice they bring?
Fixing yourself, you have to. The person has to fix himself.
Right. But then he has to bring some things as korban
Korbanot
to the holy temple. So he takes a cedar tree, which is one of the tallest tree. Symbolizes you felt too good about yourself. That you start to speak about other people, and then you bring the ezo, which is some kind of herb, some kind of grass. Very, very not important. You combine these things together. Then you have type of material. The silk.
No, somebody.
And so basically, what we speak about here is it's something that symbolizes their behavior. And there's these two birds. One he sends to birds are talking, chirping, talking too much nonsense. So it's symbolic, of course, but it's very interesting. Yeah, what we learn from the korban of Mitzvah.
So they say that it only was during Beit Hamikdash. I mean now obviously people don't get it. People talk so much.
Yeah.
But is it gonna be back when we have third Beit Hamikdash? Is that gonna be how people will know?
What we learn is about the Hashgacha Patid that we used to have back in the days. Hashgacha Patid is when Hashem gives you signs, talks to you. When there's a straight connection between us and Hashem. Yeah. Of course, there's going to be a straight connection. I don't think we'll have to go to there to tzaraat and leprosy because the world will be different. It's going to be just good. It's not going to be bad anymore. Those days there was this straight connection, and this is what we're missing. We don't have it today. Today we're lost.
Because people get used to this. Once you start talking, one time it passes, and then you start talking, it's okay, and the third time, and nothing happens to you, and you get used to this. So it's kind of
many
you
times,
still one time
many times people talk about this because they're ignorant about it. They don't know. But once they start learning the laws, they're more careful. Let's put it this. This is the reason that we have to be more strong with going to shuling, with learning. Today you have classes in the internet that you can open and learn on the way, on cassettes or CDs, or in your car, in your job, in your home, wherever you want. You can just be surrounded with Shura Torah and classes. It's beautiful.
Now I want to ask a question. Since you say shiurim at work,
Sure.
Let's say the hours what we work, and we pull out from the internet, the Torah internet, come and listen to something or any shiur. Are we allowed to do this during the working hours?
If your boss doesn't like it, and if he gets upset, that he's kind of you taking his time. So if he is upset, you're not allowed to do it.
But how
If
do you
it
know that
won't
he's
bother
upset?
him, like you have something on,
Like radio is working or
radio's working or something, yeah? If it won't bother him and you put it on, that's fine. But if, because of this, let's say you're not more concentrating.
concentration goes away, of course, because
Yeah.
you can't concentrate on two things.
And he's upset, so you cannot take it.
But
You
what if
can't-
he doesn't upset or he doesn't show, but you still pull it out? I mean, it's
It
strong.
bothers him?
It doesn't bother him. I don't know if it bothers them because I usually pull out on Russian language
Okay.
and try to listen to shirim on Russian.
Your
So I'm thinking to
Your
myself,
employer is Jewish?
no.
No? Okay.
It's also that I heard that it's what your
No,
policy
that's what she
says.
told
Like,
us
in
once,
your
you're not even
policy,
allowed
if
to
you
pray.
know you're not allowed to hear,
But I
listen
don't
to
know what the
radio.
policy says.
You're not
But
allowed.
she-
Because
just
I go
ask-
to everybody's room, they all put the radio on, American, and they listen in the music because everybody said in their cubicle and work. So it's something they do from 9 to 5, the same thing, Baruch Hashem, a different day. So I started to pull out from internet, but then I think if I would have not seen it, there's no internet. I mean, I could pull out from my phone, but
There's always the straight way. You go and ask, is it okay that I...
Yeah.
Why not?
but no.
Why not? Sometimes...
I'm sure they would have said,
Huh?
I don't know. I mean, if they didn't say anything, Okay. So if you don't ask, better not to listen.
Again, if you feel that your
Yes,
job becomes very weak or because so very slow because of that, so
No, too.
he sees it bothers him.
If you're not performing the same job that you could perform without it, with it, if you're doing the same thing and he says okay, it's okay. But if you know you slow down because you're concentrating,
I mean,
they
don't notice, but I notice myself because when you put concentration on shiur, this you wait for 10 minutes and then, it's normal. You can't concentrate on two things at once, like, it's normal.
What kind of job you do?
I work in a hospital, like small,
Payroll, right?
accounting office.
Payroll.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, we all sit in the cubicles, everybody listens, they put the music on, they put the news on, they all listen and they all work. We do not walking around nothing, we just sit in one spot. So I put Russians so nobody can hear me, because there's a lot of people.
very nice question.
Nice question.
Any more questions?
Thank you so much.
No? Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
God
you.
bless you. Toda
Thank you.
רבה.
You want some tea?
תודה רבה.
Yeah, יש קשר הכל. בבקשה.